President Donald Trump has renewed his attacks on the Federal Reserve, even as the central bank provided a reality check on the economy. Just yesterday, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell indicated the bank could cut interest rates in September, citing rising economic risks. Meanwhile, President Trump said he'd fire a member of the Fed's board, Lisa Cook, if she did not resign. Trump had called on Cook, the first black woman to serve on the board, to step down after federal housing regulator Bill Pulte accused her of committing mortgage fraud. This all comes as the president tries to distract from his own handling of the economy and the unpopularity of his budget law, the so-called Big Beautiful Bill. The Congressional Budget Office says over the next decade, the poorest Americans will lose $1,200 a year. Will lose $1,200 a year under the law, while the top 10% of Americans will gain $13,600 a year. Vice President J.D. Vance was in Georgia this week trying to rebrand the law and was asked about that inequality.
Can you justify for those poorest Americans those differences?
Well, first of all, the Congressional Budget Office, sometimes they put out reports that are absolutely atrocious, and I think this is a good example of a very atrocious report.
He's not good at it.
Joining us now, Congressman Brendan Boyle of Pennsylvania, who serves as the ranking member on the House Budget Committee. I also want to play some more sound from Vice President J.D. Vance, because he's out there as, I guess, the face of the rebranding effort of the Big Beautiful Law.
If you're working hard every single day right here in the United States, or if you're building a business right here in the United States, you ought to have a tax code that rewards you instead of punishes you. And that's what happened when we passed the Working Families Tax Cut.
What does it tell you that the person out front and touting this law is J.D. Vance and not Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump has never not wanted to be at a ribbon cutting, at a tout time,
signing something.
On
big executive order.
So what does it tell you that Donald Trump is not doing it, but J.D. Vance is?
Well, J.D. Vance, of course, is a phony and a fraud, and speaks today the exact opposite of everything how he spoke when he wrote that book some years ago. But he doesn't have Donald Trump's weird sort of charisma and hold on people. People can tell that he's putting on an act, that it's cosplaying as a Trumpite.
Yeah.
So I find it as a Democrat very helpful that someone who has the charisma of cardboard is out there pushing the bill. Now, in terms of the facts of the matter, as you pointed out, and this is completely unique, when you look at all the tax cuts that have happened in our lifetime, the Reagan tax cuts in '81, the George W. Bush tax cuts in 2001 and 2003, even the Donald Trump tax cuts of 8 years ago, they all made every American a little bit better off. The rich did far better than the poor, but everyone got something. Yeah. This is different. Poor Americans will actually be $1,200 a year worse off. $1,200 a year when you're only making $30,000 a year. I would also point out, for the bottom 1/3 of American households, they will be losing money as a result of the Big Beautiful Bill for billionaires.
And Congressman, these are all terrible things, and that might explain why the Pew Research poll on the One Big Beautiful Bill, which is now the law, a lot of people don't like it. It's disapproved by 46%, approved by 32%. 23% not sure. But do you expect the disapproval numbers to go up as Congress comes back into session, as the implications of this now law kick in?
Yeah, so first, according to one polling expert, this is the single most unpopular major piece of legislation to pass Congress in at least 50 years. So that is, from a Democratic perspective, that's the good news as we head into the 2026 election. The bad news, I think, candidly, and where we have work to do, is the 23% that's not sure. I have to make sure, as the lead Democrat on the Budget Committee, that over the next 15 months, people continue to know about this piece of legislation. The reason why I'm optimistic about that is actually a very sad reason. And that is, beginning in January, we will start to see people losing their health insurance. The Medicaid cuts, very cynically, don't start until December 2026. But the Medicare cuts to providers start in January. Also, the cuts to the sort of premium support that folks in the ACA get, that actually starts this January as well. So we will already see the ramifications of a good bit of this bill well before the 2026 elections.
And let's not forget the rural hospitals that are already closing as we speak. Also, in a lot of these red states, the ACA is called something else.
Right.
The state cares.
Which is part of our challenge, I think, as well, in order to do that bit of education. But I would just remind us, according to the Congressional Budget Office, not me, not any Democratic source, nonpartisan CBO, actually the head of it is a Republican appointee, 15.1 million Americans will lose their health care directly as a result of this bill.
I want to get into the Fed cutting, possibly cutting interest rates. And, Jerome Powell kind of floated that this week. Usually, and you tell me if I'm wrong, you on the House Budget Committee, not me. Don't they cut rates when the economy is a little rickety, a little raggedy, feeling a little concerning?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question, as Jay Powell pointed out in his speech at Jackson Hole yesterday, the fact that the unemployment situation is worsening, the fact that the economy is softening, is one of the reasons why it looks like he has all but signaled that there'll be a rate cut coming in September. And it looks like it'll be the first of 2 to 3 rate cuts for the rest of this year. That's not consistent with a growing economy.
Yeah. Congressman, before we have to let you go, this pressure campaign to have Lisa Cook, the federal member of the Federal Reserve Board, they're called governors, or governor of the Federal Reserve, to have her resign, your reaction to that, and what's the real reason here? Why do you think the president is pushing for her to resign?
Well, I'm sure the fact she's a black female had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with it.
The only one.
The only one ever, which is kind of hard to believe. And pretty embarrassing, actually. We're in the year 2025. This is the only black female in the history of the Fed, which dates back to 1913. That said, look, the idea of having a president of the United States politicizing the independence of the Fed is very disturbing. That's the sort of thing that is actually consistent with economies that tend to go off the rails.
Mm-hmm. Economies that go off the rails, meaning like, I don't know, authoritarian, autocratic regimes?
It would be consistent with that, yeah.
Congressman Brendan Boyle of Pennsylvania, thank you very much for coming back to the weekend.